They were the biggest names in rock and roll, selling out venues and clubs all across the world. They sold millions of albums, won countless awards, and dominated the Billboard charts for more than half a decade. Musical legends before they were even old enough to drive, Thaddeus Sparkman and Jim Anderson, the founding members of crime fighter Puppy Dog, composed the theme song for an entire generation, and then disappeared. What events transpired to snatch rock's youngest legends from the limelight and the fans? What force could have crumbled this seemingly unstoppable duo? Tonight, we explore the history behind the rise and fall of rock's most influential group, crime fighter Puppy Dog. Our story begins in Nashville, Tennessee, the music capital of the South. The year was 1966. America's landscape was plagued by foreign war, civil protest, and hippies. Little did we know that one fateful day in March, a musical legend would be born. Thaddeus "Rock" Sparkman was born March 19th to Betty and Bob Sparkman. His early childhood was fairly typical.
He used to roll a hoop with a stick and kick the can. Walking uphill both ways, mile in the snow to school and stuff. Just pretty standard.
However, in 1976, a week before Thad's 10th birthday, tragedy struck. Bob Sparkman was a production assistant on the original Star Wars movie. During the filming of the final battle sequence, Bob became stuck in a bathroom on the Death Star. He didn't make it out in time. Thad was devastated. To deal with the pain of his loss, he turned to music and discovered an unusual aptitude for the Guitar Hero.
And I just had natural affinity to it because it's got these buttons here, and these buttons. Some people can't. They just can't hit the buttons, and I can hit the buttons. It just comes down to me naturally.
It didn't take long for Thad to recruit his best friend Jim for his new band.
So then, we started, Jim and I started a band, and it was fun.
It was not a lot of fun.
But it was cool just writing with him because it was like...
He stood up there and played what I told him to.
He'd start playing something, and I would just pick up right where he was heading, and it was like we would just...
Actually, I was the creative force. I produced everything. I got the recordings going. It
was real cool, like a team effort.
I wrote everything. It wasn't really a team effort in that, when we were playing the Guitar Hero initially, it was going to be a collaborative effort, but I just realized he had absolutely no talent other than just to purely take direction. And that's what I ended up doing, is just basically telling him what to play.
In 1979, they were presented with their first opportunity to amaze the musical community. 2 years later, Thaddeus and Jim became official high school dropouts, and their life on the road began.
Once we got signed, there was really no point continuing school, so...
It was great, because when you're a rock star, or, what I like to say, you're a guitar hero, because that's what I am. I'm at 16, running around the country.
It was real tiring.
It was a lot of work. We never made any money.
All we had time to do was play the shows and sleep, or we were always practicing. We didn't even get to meet any of the fans.
We never got any attention from the opposite gender, ever.
Smoking ladies.
Always working hard, always trying to write new stuff.
Out there on the road, on the stage, with the light in your face, the wind in your mouth.
As the years went by, however, success began to tear at them.
It got real big, real fast. A lot faster than I thought it would. Things kind of got, I don't know, I guess a little out of hand.
I just passed out for like 2 days, and I had to cancel some other shows. It happened all the time.
It got worse. It got 10 times worse.
On September 12, 1987, after a very heated Atari-related dispute, Crime Fighter Puppy Dog officially broke up.
Jim quit the band.
I was being stifled creatively.
We had creative differences.
Well, I do want to, I don't want to talk about it. But I quit the band.
You know, Jim just couldn't really keep up with me, and I had to eventually let Jim go and move out on my own.
Before I used to just see everything I did in colors, you know, red, green, yellow, blue, and orange. And it's like I don't see the colors anymore. I don't see any colors.
Thaddeus would continue in his own musical pursuits. Launching his solo album in January of '88. However, without the songwriting prowess of his former bandmate, he was unable to duplicate the success of Crime Fighter.
How many people bought that album? I think the marketing guy had told me that we sold maybe 2 copies of that, and we actually pressed about 2,000, so I ate a little bit of that.
Now, 20 years later, the former frontman is trying another stab at musical glory.
There's a difference in my music now than there was then. I'm on a comeback trail, man. I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna get out there and I'm gonna play it. People are gonna, I'm gonna take this thing, I'm gonna sing into it. People are gonna listen to it, because I'm gonna come back, man. I'm putting out some albums, like 5 at one time. It's all coming back to me, like my comeback trail.
In retrospect, one can't help but reflect and wonder what could have been. Did Thaddeus allow an ego to destroy a friendship? Did Jim favor credit over creativity? Or perhaps they were both consumed by the magnitude of the very instruments that had brought them so far from home. We may never know the answer, but you can be sure of one thing. Though their song may have stopped, these 2 men will forever reverberate throughout the halls of history. Entertainers. Innovators. Guitar heroes.